there's a question from Angel Wang in the chat saying, do we need an invitation letter so that, or she's saying we do need an invitation letter so that we can apply to leave our workplace during the meeting? Yes, and if you, do you want to answer that, Augustine? How can people get invitation letters for
I think
their workplace?
Yeah, thanks very much, Peter, and thanks, Angel, for the question. I think we can draft that. It has to be individualized, so it's better for the individual countries or individual people who need a letter to write to us, and we'll provide one. Thanks.
So we can provide official invitation letters just right to the conference website. So please, Jean-Paul is saying we're not getting access to the website for a few days. Is there a problem, Augustine?
No, not as far as I know. We have been showing the website. In fact, you saw that was a live tour of the website during the talk where David took us through the website. We haven't noticed any issue. The issue that we remember was only in December, one day where the payment was difficult, and that was just related to the dates that was set for the 31st and not to be extended on the early bird. So we manually changed that, and people were able to register. So I can assure you it's working as far as we know, even up to now.
Thank you. Howard Lyons from the board is asking about sponsorship. Now that we've got 600 signed up, 300 are wanting bursaries. As we've said already, the more people who come from resource-rich countries, the more we can provide for others from more resource-poor countries. But also the bursary fund is going to make a huge difference. But Augustine, I think Howard is asking about sponsorship, whether it's possible for organizations to come and exhibit and provide input that way. Would you like to just talk about the sponsorship system that we have running at the moment?
Yes, of course. Maybe I can just share with you the website to show you how it's all working out as far as the sponsorship, especially when it comes to exhibitor. And that is a good thing that you have asked, Howard, and we are so excited that people are also applying to exhibit at the upcoming. I'm going to show you live. By the way, this is a live website to show that it's working. The exhibitor is one of the ways that we can raise funding, as we said. Now, we have different packages of these exhibitors. The simple package, which is the bronze package, you pay 1,000. We have 20 slots. And this allows the company or the organization to just have a booth, and they can talk about their organization. They can talk about anything to our delegates. We have another package, a silver package, which will cost $2,000. We have 8 slots where we can include, in addition to the bronze package, we can include a logo in one of the conference branded material and a piece of literature to be included in the packages of the delegate. Of course, the gold package is 3,000. 4 slots we have, which include the silver as well as the recognition of sponsor during the conference, and we can put something on a website to recognize them and have a 2 to 3 minute video clip that can be uploaded on a website and at the conference. Package of we have 3 slots of package of platinum. We have gold package and 1 roll-up banner. They can display that through the conference and ability to place the literature and the chairs in the main plenary hall. We have a diamond with platinum package, which can add the 7-minute presentation during the World Congress, and which we are asking now, or the latest, the premium package, which will allow you to sponsor at least a dinner, and you can talk, you can use as many minutes as you want, and you allow you to to give that presentation to our audiences for as long as you can, but you can give one of the evening, you can sponsor a dinner, and we believe that this is a good option because we might remind you there are 3 dinners that we are offering at the conference site, but 3 other days people are organizing in their own network. But this is one of the way we can have dinner together and network together at the venue as well. So this is one of the packaging that we are offering, and we are excited because people have applied for them, and we're looking forward to host them. And this also allows some people to come under sponsorship to join us at the Congress. Thank you.
Thank you. So please do make that known to organizations, to mission organizations, to churches, to businesses, people operating in the medical field, that they can make use of this conference and have access to the delegates either through the exhibition or through a wider input as we've outlined there. All the details are on the website. Please do note that and spread the word around to people you think might be interested. Santiago Fontes from Uruguay is asking, Augustine, is it possible to pay by credit card because they had some trouble when trying in December?
Yeah,
the Stripe system is based on credit cards, and we've had over 200 people have successfully paid using Stripe so far. But any further comment on that?
Yeah, I think there was a system that was not allowed to pay by a credit card, and majority of those countries were based in Africa. I'm not sure why your credit card did not allow, but it's probably a good idea to speak to us particularly, and we can assess what is the issue that the credit card declined the payment. Otherwise, we haven't had many of those coming back to us. We've had a couple from Africa, and probably you are one outside Africa that has had trouble to pay with a credit card. The rest have gone through. However, having said that, I need also to acknowledge that some people have tried the first time and then it's failed, but we encourage them to do it the second time. On the same day, it goes through. For some reason, very few people, just a couple, not a handful, have done that. It failed the first time, and they do it the second time. I cannot guarantee what went wrong. But Stripe has been very reliable, and we've got money easily. Thanks.
Thanks. And Santiago is saying, thank you, Augustine, perfect answer. So that's great. Just a reminder too, you don't have to pay by credit card. There are 2 other ways you can pay, as Augustine highlighted. One is through your national organization. So you can pay your national movement for the conference, and they will then pay the money on to us. And that may be a more convenient way of doing it for some countries. The second way is that you can pay by automatic bank transfer as well. And the details on how to do that are on the website. So there are 3 different ways you can pay. And then, of course, if you're unable to pay or unable to pay the full amount, of course, then you can still apply for a bursary. As you've heard, we've had over 300 bursary applications so far. We know we're going to need more money, but in the next couple of weeks, we will be starting to go through all those bursary applications, and we're going to award the bursaries as they go. So we're not going to wait until March. We're going to let people know what whether they have bursaries now or whether they're on a waiting list, depending on more money coming in. So you'll be starting to hear by the end of this month as to whether you've got a bursary, and that will give you plenty of time then to organize any fundraising for travel or accommodation. Mainly the bursaries will just cover the registration fee of the conference, not travel and not accommodation. But as you've heard, we have negotiated in the last week about 500 places in hostels within 2 kilometers easy walk of the conference center. And those range from between $9 and $15 per night, including bed and breakfast as well. So very cheap accommodation, which is of good quality is available. And then, of course, if you want to stay in a hotel, then you're looking at $50 to $200 a night, depending on how well equipped it is. But you've got that option as well. Travel, of course, if you're just crossing one border to come, we expect you to come overland. We won't be offering flights to people from neighboring countries, but we will want to be offering some flights to some people from countries further abroad. And in particular, our aim is to get 2 people at least from every resource poor country in the world to come to the Congress, and particularly those from the new organizations who are going to be joining this year. So we've got some more time for questions. Please put your questions into chat, or if you want to ask it, then just raise your hand, and when I call you, you can unmute. I see some, please, you had your hand up before. Just looking for you now. Did you have a question you wanted to ask online?
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you also, Dr. Augustine. I think I'm working on the site, and Jean-Paul is giving me the right site because we had some trouble to get registered. So Jean-Paul sent me the link. I'll try and see. And also will emphasize on the letter for the people to get there, because sometimes we have also some people, they don't have the passport yet. So for us, sometimes to have the passport, instead of to have the passport, you need to have that letter to go to that organization for the passport to deliver you the passport. So we will apply for the letter. I think, as Augustine said, we will write with because we need to personalize the letter. Then we send maybe to Augustine.
Yes.
So that we can have.
So if you just email us at the administration site, and we can supply invitation letters for you. David will do that, whether you need them for visas or whether you need them for your work or your university in order to get permission to be away. Angel Wang, got a question?
Yes, yes, Dr. Peter. How about the situation internet in Tanzania?
Augustine, you're speaking from Arusha on a very good internet connection. Can you comment about the internet facilities, both at the AICC and at the hotels and youth hostels around Arusha?
Yeah, in Tanzania, there is good internet. In fact, I'm speaking through the internet. And all of us, as you can see, some members of the committee are here. You can say hi to you. Everyone has got the internet next to them, and they are all connected. In fact, they are connected to the hotel where we are, internet Wi-Fi, and I'm connected to my small router that you will see here. Meaning you can have some gadget like this and put a local SIM card and put it inside, and you'll have internet, or you can put in your phone and you'll have internet. It's good speed, relatively okay. And many of the hotels, they all the facility we've spoken about, including those low-cost facilities, they all have Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi when you get to those hotels. We've tried, and we've confirmed, including the $9, you'll have internet access. So don't worry about not being connected. Either from the airport, we suggest you buy the card, local SIM card, or once you're at the hotel, you are connected. The AICC, we've got the access to internet for everyone, but we reserve that for live streaming and for our administration, so we can protect the speed. And without patronizing people, we've noticed that if you ask young people to be on the internet, you know what will happen. No one will follow the Congress. Someone has said that the internet these days has connected people from afar and disconnected people around you. Disconnect you from around you, but connect you from afar. Anyway, the internet is available, and it's very, very good speed. There's no issue with that.
Thanks, Augustine. Jan Kaneni from Namibia is asking the question about vaccinations and particularly yellow fever. Can you just talk about vaccination information? Maybe
Yes,
on
the
website.
vaccination, we have given a link to the website that has all the information on the vaccination and the visa. Currently, you are required to show the yellow fever vaccine. On COVID, you either have your vaccine or you have your negative test to show. So if you are vaccinated, you do not require to test for COVID. But if you're not vaccinated, please, you are required so far until today, I mean, you are required to present a negative test. But it is quite a relatively okay and speedy process. As far as the visa is concerned, most of African countries, you can get a visa on arrival, and some you can apply online for visa. We can issue the site, we'll give you it's actually linked on our website to show you which site to apply for an e-visa. Most of countries, they have access to that. It will cost you about $50. And that $50, you will get it within a couple of days. The visa will be sent to you, and that is easy to come. So you don't need to go to the embassy. Alternatively, for those who would like to visit or make the most of the East African region, there is a possibility where you can have the visa that covers a few countries, but unfortunately, that visa does not cover Tanzania. It covers only Rwanda, Kenya, as well as Uganda. So you will need to still have Tanzanian visa, but the rest of the other countries, just one visa, you'll visit those countries. That visa, the East African visa, it will cost you $100, while the Tanzania visa will cost you $50. But it's quite easy. You can get it on arrival, or you can get a e-visa, and both of them are working very well. The only advice is to tell you, check your country if it's among the list of people who cannot apply on online visa, but there should be less than 20 countries around the world that cannot apply for e-visa. The rest, 100 and something countries or 200, you can all get the electronic visa, which you will get easily. And some other countries, you just show up at the airport and they will give you a visa. Please visit the website regularly, especially when it comes to COVID, because things can change. We're not the masters of the future. And if the things do change, usually that link is from the government website. They will be accurate in what will be required at the airport or on arrival. Thanks.
Augustine, Jan is also asking, in June in Tanzania, malaria prophylaxis?
It depends on where you're coming from. That is a rainy season, and usually rainy season, I don't think it's very high in malaria. I'm asking my colleagues in the local community, local committee. They don't seem to agree that June is a high. It's a rainy season, so it should be lower. And I'm told by the chairperson of the local organizing committee, Dr. Elichilia, who's an infectious disease specialist among us, so I will go under his authority. He says the region where we are, northern Tanzania, it's less malaria. But to go on a caution, if you're gonna roam around or travel around or discovering your surrounding in Tanzania, we just prefer that you take your prophylaxis. For those who are in a region and who have been exposed to malaria, like myself, I hardly take those stuff. Yeah, so am I not lucky? Thank you, Peter.
And if you're specifically wanting help about visa application, if it's difficult, please email us at the website and David will be able to advise you. But look on the website first and look at the FAQs, because you'll find it answers most of your questions. Now, Dr. Angel Wang, again from Burkina Faso, is asking, shall we bring our national flags? Absolutely, please do. And we'd like at least one person from every country coming to bring a national flag, a good sized one, because there will be a flag parade at the conference when all the flags will be presented. And in addition, of course, especially if you're one of the new countries joining ICMDA this year, then we really would like you to bring your flags.
Those of you who are worried, sorry, Peter. Those of you who are wondering if Tanzania is good on other countries, the hospitality here is beyond reproach. You will hardly see locals. You'll believe you are somewhere else. I tend to look for locals, and sometimes I find hard to find even Tanzanians. Every third person that I bump to is from either Europe or South America or Oceania or everywhere else, excluding local Tanzanian. I'm yet to find them. Maybe they will tell me where they hide themselves. Thanks.
Well, remember, of course, that Arusha is the tourist center of Tanzania. And so this is where people come from all around the world to visit the game parks, to see the beauty of the country. And so it is well set up for foreign visitors. And we were very pleasantly surprised at how easy it was last year when we went to the venue for the board meeting, how easy it was to negotiate through customs. It was very quick and efficient. The transport links were good. It was only 80 minutes from Kilimanjaro International Airport, which is the closest one to the center of Arusha. And the center of Arusha, everything's very compact, well organized. You can walk around very easily, and the streets are very, very safe. It's a good place to be. And Tanzania is a very hospitable country. And of course, remember that a lot of their economy is based on tourism. So they know how to look after people coming from other countries. Please, you've got your hand up again, I think. Did you have another question?
Yeah, thank you, Peter. I'll go first. I wrote that on the chat. It's about the language. I had my meeting with my team this morning. They're not very fluent in English. There's French speaking. So is there any plan for them? Is there any thing for translation into French?
Yeah, ICMDA has made a lot of efforts in terms of translation, because we are one of the organizations that are far ahead in terms of multicultural and multi-languages. And we have used in all our services 7 languages, major languages. That include Chinese, French, English, Portuguese, Spanish, Arabic, and Russian. We believe that with those 7 languages, you can literally work your way around the world, and that has proven to be true. So, as I said, we are one step ahead. The conference center, though they have link facilities, we were there, we visited again yesterday, and we looked at those facilities, translations. They have booths that can allow this, but unfortunately, they have that for 4 languages. So what this means is we will require people, when they are registering, we have embedded that in the registration, if they do require translation. So this will allow us to know how many languages are needed. And we encourage people to do that. So far, it was quite very expensive. We've required again another quotation to just, if we use our own translators, how far that can go. They have assured that they can give us the devices for $2 per person per day. We're still negotiating that to drop that price. So depending on what's the demand, we will adjust accordingly. Please let us know if you need that language facility as you register. We have volunteer or people who have availed themselves. We praise God to help with translation. We still need more. As you might know, translation in live translation or simultaneous translation requires a swap. So after every 30 minutes to 45 minutes, you need to swap around. So ideally, you want people to keep swapping so they can have some breaks as well. So we will still require more translators. We are sending out, we sent out a call for volunteers to help us to be involved in this process. So yes, we'll have translations in all languages. Just kindly let us know which language you prefer among the one I have highlighted, and we will try and see those that we can provide for translation. In the meantime, we are happy that there will be translation on site, a simultaneous translation.
So there's just one more question from Santiago Fontes in chat in relation to flights, other direct flights from the Netherlands. You'll need to just go through travel agents to ask about that. There are not many places where you can fly directly to Kilimanjaro Airport, but you can reach it through the main hubs. So for most people, it will be it'll be a hop through one of the main hubs, particularly in the Middle East, like Dubai or Abu Dhabi, which do fly from there. And I think Papa has just answered your question. KLM flies from Amsterdam to Kilimanjaro and Dar es Salaam. But the question was the culture night. I was saying that the culture night is always a highlight of the World Congress. Come prepared, there'll be opportunities for countries to put on items. But do you want to add something about that on the culture night?
Yes, there are actually two cultural nights. One at the students' conference and one at the main congress. This is a time where you can display all your talent, all your skills and all of that. It's a very relaxed. We usually advise people to come in their cultural attires and some to prepare your cultural food or something that you will talk about or say about your culture. We tending to have those tables where you can just come and people can mingle around into the exhibition facility where you can exhibit as well your country to other people. Because you remember in 1.5 hours, we're not gonna have a chance to all countries individually to showcase their countries. But in the exhibition, you can have a small table and have biscuit or have something special about your country, and you can talk individually about it and display your flag. Their time is not limited. But the other good news is that this corresponds to 60th anniversary of ICMDA, and we have actually another partner, MAF, Mission Aviation Fellowship, that is also going to be celebrating. They wanted to join us, but watch the space, what is on offer for that celebration. We're working on a menu for the cake, how big it will be. Hopefully, Peter will come up with a with a concoction of a cake that will fit the 1,000 people. Yeah, just keep an eye on that, and we are looking forward to have all nations, especially on those cultural nights, on both the students as well as the main congress and the display of the region. So majority of the presentation will be at the regional level because of the time slot, but during the display in the exhibition venue, you can display anything about your country or anything that you want to showcase. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Augustine. And thank you everybody for coming and being here.